Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here on the Daily Racing Form YouTube. I'm Gino Buccola alongside Ashley Mailloux with producer Bobby pulling the strings as we get you ready for a preview of the Ogden Phipps. But before we get to that, we got to let you know about the Belmont Stakes Racing Festival and the packages that they have right now at shop.drf.com. You can get up to 52% and save when you bundle everything together: past performances, clocker reports, betting strategies, and more for all of the days of the Belmont Racing Festival or just Saturday. We are going to talk about Friday, and race number 9 on Friday is the Grade 1 Ogden Phipps. Not the biggest field in the world, but really interesting group here because coming into the year, Ashley, and starting the year, this division was all about Torpedo Anna. Everyone just kind of had her at the tip top of the division and figured she would be the horse to beat in races like this. But we saw her lose her most recent race, kind of a disappointing start to the year for her. And that opens up the division quite a bit. You can see there's no real overwhelming favorite in here. I think Raging Sea and Candied probably right now deserve to be horses that take a good amount of money. But I could see this race going, and honestly, like the betting board looks 3 through 7, none of them would shock me.
I still don't think the inside would be that shocking. Obviously, they need
agree.
a lot of things to go their way. But in terms of a field of 7 with Torpedo Anna not being here, some connections are going to take some shots. And why not? I mean, it's a Grade 1 event. And kind of looking at this group, it's an interesting bunch.
Let's see what Timeform US thinks. Like the pace projector would say, they've got Randomized up front. That's not a surprise. Randomized wants to go, and now she'll make her second start back off the bench. Dorth, Vader, and Leslie's Rose, though, are horses who could be sitting in pretty nice spots. And I think both of them I could see running a big race in here. Leslie's Rose will make her second start back off of a long layoff now as a 4-year-old. And you were just mentioning Dorth Vader. If you just look at the La Troyenne, 3 horses come out of that, she might have run the best race, even though she was 4th. She had legitimate trouble there that day. So yeah, the pace could be interesting because if somebody does something other than randomize, that's where this race could get a little crazy and maybe produce a different result.
And if someone doesn't do anything with randomized, she's dangerous. She draws the outside in here. She loves Saratoga, even at these longer races. We can't forget the 2023 Alabama that she destroyed her competition in a big field. She's dangerous in here. Her only really bad race, in my opinion, as of late, is the 1-2 back. And I just think they went way too quick early.
Yeah, and it was the last start of her 3-year-old season. She probably had some kind of an issue go wrong why she was off to the bench for that long. Let's meet the field for the Ogden Phipps. $500,000 up for grabs. And remember, this is a Grade 1 event, one of the many Grade 1s on Friday. This kicks off your late pick 5 sequence, I believe, also. So a really important wager as we meet Dorth Vader. Did not have an easy trip in that last race. Ashley was inside, had a good start, and things got really tight. She was holding her position, but she kind of got bounced around with Torpedo Anna going into the turn. She was saving ground. Again, just couldn't get all the way through an opening in tight early in the stretch. I thought she had like some legitimate excuses for that race.
She did. I mean, she's only made 3 starts now in just under 2 years, right? She obviously had setbacks as a 4-year-old. You mentioned the trouble she had last time out. I'm curious to see if we can see her return to some of her form that we saw as a 3-year-old. But she draws well enough in here. Johnny V's very familiar with her. I think from a pace perspective, she should be 1 or 2 lengths off of it early, and she'll try to give it a go. But as I mentioned, I wouldn't be shocked if she puts in a good race. Just a very consistent mare.
Dazzling Move is a Grade 3 winner. Just going off of speed figures, she has the lowest buyer top in the field. And most of her races have been going a little shorter, sprinting, or about a mile. She did have a nice win at a mile and a 16th, 3 starts back in the Royal Delta. She was behind Candied. We most recently saw in the Allaire DuPont winning on Preakness weekend. So 2 horses come out of that race. What do you think about Dazzling Move?
Thought she ran very well at Pimlico. I know she's second best, but Candy, I guess, figured to be the horse to beat, right? There were just 2 scratches in this field. Field of 6 went postward, and she went to the front. She tried to stay in front. I think ultimately she gets passed by a better runner. Now, I guess the one thing that works against her is she has to face Candied once again, but she was on the lead, and I don't know if she's necessarily most effective on the lead. I would actually like to see her sit a little bit more. If you go down historically, I don't think going to the front works out well for her, and still a good performance. She has room for improvement. She's just been in this barn for 3 starts now.
It's funny. One of the reasons why I've played her in the past was because she was a horse that would sit off the pace and close. So you're absolutely right. Those tactics just may not have been her favorite. Leslie's Rose feels like she's coming into this race really primed for a big one. She ran in the vagrancy, and that was her first start off the bench. She did not race from July all the way to May. So that last race should serve as a really nice prep, making her first start back in 9 months to set her up for this one. She's a grade 1 winner. She can be close throughout. I could see her sitting second or third behind Randomized, trying to save some ground in here. It just feels like she's primed and coming into this race in a real positive way.
Let's just be honest. She's not a sprinter. Holland Ice, who, was pretty impressive here, is a sprinter. And I think that was the difference on that day. She probably needed the race, as you mentioned. And looking at her resume last year as a 3-year-old filly, she has some very credible performances in terms of being second to Torpedo Anna in the Acorn. I know she disappointed in her next start. Another one, I don't know if she wants to be as forward as she was in the Coaching Club American Oaks, but we cannot forget Torpedo Anna sort of decimated the competition. So I think she's coming into herself. I think she's going to take a huge step forward here. And I think compared to some others that we're about to talk about, I know she's 7-2 on the morning line. She's going to offer a little bit more value, and I think she has the upside.
Completely agree. She's a grade 1 winner. Raging Sea is a multiple grade 1 winner now. She's going to make her second start back after 6 months off. She wins the La Troyenne. She ran well that day. It was solid. It was a good first start back. And we know she can run better than that. And we know she likes Saratoga, Ashley. She's won 3 of her 6 starts at Saratoga. So a lot of positives for me thinking about Raging Sea. My main negative would be I feel like she's going to be one of the shorter prices in a pretty evenly matched group. So if I think that there's a lot of different horses that could win, usually I'm not going to lean on the shortest price of them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she's talented. She's 8 for 14. You mentioned she beat a decent field last time out. She's going to face Randomized again. 2 starts back, the runner-up in the Breeders' Cup. Distaff, I don't really have any knocks on her, but I think the price is going to be very short. And I think you look at some of her races that she won, not necessarily the grade 1s, but some of the grade 2s and grade 3s. I don't really know what was behind her. I don't think the same level that she's facing here.
Completely agree. We move to Candied, who is also a grade 1 winner, and now will make the 3rd start of the form cycle. Another horse who's proven at Saratoga, proven at the mile and an 1/8 trip. She stepped forward in her 2nd start off of the break. So if she can take one more step forward and put her right into some of the higher speed figures she's run, that probably makes her a top tier contender in this race. What do you think about Candied?
Well, my thing is she ran well last time out, but I have doubted her in the past as kind of a minor player. She just doesn't have typically that late punch that I want to see. We've seen that 2, 3, 4, 5 starts back, right? Where she gets past late. Someone else is traveling better in the later stages. That's always been my concern with her. I do think last time out, she got out of the graded stakes competition. She gets the win. She does it nicely. Maybe that boosts her confidence and she can take a step forward from there, but still have reservations for her in terms of the top spot.
Tarifa is next up, and I'd love to own a horse like this that I'm going to knock for, for being 10 for 12 in the money and a multiple graded stakes winner. She always shows up and fires. She just feels like she's kind of a cut below some of the top contenders in here, even based on speed figures for me. I've always been a big fan of this horse. She comes off of a 2nd place effort. She was behind Jin Jin. Jin Jin came back and finished 2nd in the Shawnee. Can you build a case for Tarifa in here?
I'm a fan of her. I doubted her early in her career as a 3-year-old. Said that a few times too, and I think I can eat my words. I agree with you. I mean, she's a fun filly to have, and she obviously shows up every single time, but I wonder the same thing. She'll need to take a huge step forward, in my opinion, to win this. And it's huge might be a little bit of a big word there. It's going to be a big step forward just based on the competition that she's been facing and what she's done as of recent. I think I have the same concerns about her in her last 2 or 3 that I have with Candied.
And rounding out the field is Randomized. It's actually last year's winner. She's a multiple grade 1 winner. She set the pace in the La Troyenne before fading, but that was her first start off the bench. She hadn't raced from August all the way to May. Now she's going to go 2nd start off the bench. She should be the controlling speed. She's also drawn really well, Ashley, to the outside. It'll kind of give her an opportunity to look over to the inside, see if anybody else wants to go, and then they could put the pedal to the metal. She just feels like another one in here that really wouldn't shock in a wide open betting race.
Yeah, I love the draw for her. I think this works to her advantage. And you mentioned she goes to the front and no one pushes her. This race could be over. She's just very game on the front end. Another one that we talk about this field. This is a pretty consistent field top to bottom. They give it their all each and every start. And I I can say that she loves Saratoga. We know that to this point in her career. So I think from a pace perspective, maybe you don't like her here. Maybe you think she's a cut below, but I do think you have to look at her for a while and decide, is there a situation where she's out there by herself?
And as we round out the field, what makes this field so tough and competitive, everybody in here has a buyer top between 92 and 99. And I think most of the field is between 95 and 99. So they're not separated by all that much. Like whoever gets the trip, whoever gets the right shape of the race could get the job done. Where are you going to land, Ashley?
This was tough. Like to get it down to 4, we keep on talking
Yeah.
about how wide open it is. We're on the same horse here, Leslie Rose. I think the big thing with her, I like how she came back. I don't think she's a sprinter. I look at some of her races like the Ashland. The Ashland performance was very impressive from her. She's been close, relatively close to Thorpeda Anna in one of her starts. And I just think the time off has done her well. She's training well. And I think we're going to get better value on her. We don't really know exactly what she is yet as a 4-year-old filly.
And for me, I put Leslie's Rose on top as well. And I don't have Randomized in the mix, but let me tell you, she will absolutely be in the pick 5s that I'm playing that start in race number 9. It's that type of a race where you're probably going to need to use a few. We both land on Leslie's Rose, hoping she's in that 3.5 to 1-ish range. But whoever you play in the Ogden Phipps on Friday, we wish you the best of luck.